And that's funny. There we go. All right. Hey, y'all. Hey, y'all. Hey, y'all. Hey. What's going on? This is Crystal Taylor, the owner of Fitness is Not a Game, where I help busy women find the balance of living a healthier lifestyle and burning fat, losing weight without going to the gym, starving themselves, or exercising excessively. So I invite you all. I'm glad you all here today. Not invite you. I welcome you all to today's Lunch and Learn. And before we get started, if you are here with me now, say hey. Make sure you say hey. Let me know where you're watching from, and of course, let me know if you have your water. And Darian, I didn't warn you. They call me a water bully, so I really hope you have some water.
That's a good thing. That's a good thing.
And anybody who's watching on replay, do me a favor and type replay in the comments so that I know that you came back. So what is this Lunch and Learn? Today, I invited Mr. Darian McDaniel of PROBLKHEALTH to come on and talk. And thank you, Darian, for coming.
No worries.
I want to have a conversation about the importance of supplements. Y'all, before I get into it and introduce Darian and read his bio, I just want to have a quick conversation about supplements and why I'm doing this, because y'all know how I feel about the quick and easy things that people want to do. People are so quick to want to jump on pills that help you lose weight, but we don't realize that as we age, and none of us getting younger, there are certain things that we need for maintenance, just to keep going, for things to work the way they used to. So with that being said, let me introduce Mr. McDonald. Darian McDaniel. I'm Daniel. I keep calling him McDonald. Darian McDaniel.
Hey, how you doing? So sorry, my phone was on. Let me mute that out. That was actually my wife calling me right then. So
look at the doc say, look here, where you at, sir?
Yeah. Thank you for having me on. Like you said, I'm Darian McDaniel of PROBLKHEALTH. We're a Black-owned vitamin company. But what's unique about it as well is we also give back to the community, as 50% of our profits go to nonprofits that focus on eradicating health disparities in the Black community. But I'm glad to be here today to help with some questions and, give you guys some good information.
Yeah. So I'm going to read the bio, and then I want to ask you some questions about it, right? Because you and I have had a really good conversation about what you all do. And as you all heard him say, they don't just provide the supplements and the things you need for your health, but they also give back. All right. So Darian McDaniel is a health and nutrition expert and enthusiast. I love the word enthusiast, because to me, enthusiast just means I'm not acting like I'm a complete expert on all the things I'm excited about it. So I'm constantly trying to learn. That's why I like to learn.
Yeah, and I love that. That's what it's about. I'm constantly learning, constantly doing and so much you don't know that you think you know, but it helps out to just keep your mind open.
Yeah. All right. So let me get back. All right. No, he's a mental health advocate, marketing guru with a passion to empower the Black community through health awareness and education. This 20-year veteran, C-suite marketing and sales, has now dedicated his talents to bring awareness and change to better health to the Black community. Currently the CEO of PROBLKHEALTH, a vitamin and wellness company, dedicated to being a vehicle of change. PROBLKHEALTH's mission is to literally promote the health of Black people. With more than 90% of Black Americans having vitamin deficiencies, PROBLKHEALTH offers varieties of high-quality vitamins and supplements with 50% of net profits, not gross, net profits, going back to nonprofits that specifically target health and healing in the Black community, allowing people to invest in their own health while investing in the health of the Black community. Y'all welcome, Darian. Look here.
Man, that sounds so good. I wrote that too. That sounds real good. I like that. It sounds real good.
You know what? When we first met, what was it, a couple months ago?
Yeah.
And I'm listening to him, and I'm like, hey, I think we need to talk. It sounds like we have some synergies. And the more we talked about it, y'all know, I told y'all my mission is to help at least 1 million Black families change their medical histories.
Amazing.
This is the Black health and fitness revolution, and we got to take control of our health. So the fact that they are working, and y'all heard him say he married to a doctor. Yeah. Well, I dropped the doctor in there, but he talked about his wife. But the fact that he and his wife run this company together, created this company together, and their focus is to help the Black community and not just provide the health supplements that we need, but also to give back to these organizations that are trying to do the same, because y'all know we don't get that. We don't get that much support from
Absolutely.
the government. From the government. So can you give a little more because I know your story, but would you share the story on how you and your wife came about, came to this point of creating Pro Black Health?
Absolutely. So me and my wife got married. I said 3 years ago the other day. I've been corrected by my wife. It's 4 years.
Oh,
man, I missed a whole year. But anyway,
time flies when you're having fun. That's what you should have told her.
So when we got married, we said we were going to do something to give back to the community, because we both felt like we were very successful, and but I had really never given back, and it was just something that was on my mind. Sometimes you come from different communities and then you complaining about it, but what am I doing to help, right?
Yeah.
And so that was part of our wedding vows, that we were going to do something, but then we didn't know exactly what that was, but that's something we were going to do. And when you get married to someone, you start feeling like, that Saturdays and Sundays are fun, but sometimes when you're married, you learn sometimes the Tuesdays and Wednesdays, some of those days, they're bad days. And my wife would come home frustrated a lot during the week. And she'd be really frustrated about the health of the Black community, because she's a surgeon here in Atlanta. She's a bariatric surgeon, which is a weight loss surgeon. She also is a general surgeon. And her name is Carlina, by the way. And she's always worked at primarily Black hospitals and went to Howard University Medical School. And so she's a medical director of Southern Regional Hospital here in Atlanta.
Okay.
And it's on the south side of Atlanta. And so what was happening is a lot of people come in with these health problems. And she's like, they're not doing the minimum to take care of themselves. They're using the emergency room as a doctor's visit. Like, it's about to fall off, and now they want something to be done, and she would be so frustrated. She was like, we just don't do anything preventative. We're not doing anything. And one day I was working on a project because I was in media, and I had a media company, and she came in. I said, do I have to hear about Black people being unhealthy again today? She was like, you damn right. I said, you so pro Black health. And that's kind of how the name got started. And so we kind of took that. It had a ring to it. We first going to do a nonprofit. I don't know if any guys out there are familiar with nonprofits. They take a lot of dedication and work. And she was a surgeon full time, and I had this company. So what we do is start giving money to these nonprofits. We were like, well, we only can give so much. How can this happen in scale? And so those are kind of the roadblocks that the steps that kind of got us to where we were going, but we didn't know where we were going. And so then one day the CDC had come to our office and said that, pretty much 92% of African Americans have vitamin deficiencies, and this is an epidemic, right? And everybody's familiar with vitamin D, but it's a lot of other things: zinc, vitamin C, A. It's so many minerals. There's so many things we miss, not only because of our diet, our stressful lives, and so many different things. So, and then just the education on foods that we've been raised with, that we think are good, and everything has to taste good and feel good for us to like it. So then we said, man, we need to do something about that. And then we weren't sure. And I saw a Shark Tank episode, and it was a company that sold beach towels, and each one that they sold, a percentage to go back to the ocean to clean up marine life. And I was like, man, if they could do it for fish, we could do it for Black people. Right?
Come on.
And so then we were like, let's start a vitamin company. I was like, my wife was like, a vitamin company? Like what? I was like, we need to do a vitamin company and use the vitamin company as a vehicle to make health cool. So we tried to make the brand really cool, really good vibe, really good energy using social media. Sometimes you go in the vitamin aisle, it's kind of bland, so we wanted to make it exciting. So we used cool names like King Essentials, Queen Essentials, Not Your Mama's Greens, just these vibes and these colors and these names to get people excited about health. And also in the process, we said, well, why don't we give some of these profits back to these nonprofits that we had got familiar with that are working on these health disparities in the Black community. And a lot of the times they just don't have the funding.
Yep.
Right. And so what we did was we said, we're going to take 50% of our net profits and give it back to those nonprofits. And eventually my big goal, I guess it really is both of our big goals, is just to one day have our own nonprofit as well as a part of that, and health centers and things in the community. I mean, I just think of it as it can be really big. You know, if we get people behind it and buying the vitamins, that we can really make a big difference. Because I found that those companies, like that company that does marine life, I mean, they've like cleaned up so much of the ocean. They've like done so. I mean, we can do those same things with our dollars with companies to help make a difference, you know. And always ask people, when you buy things, you need to think about what that company is doing for your community.
Yeah. So, if y'all don't give it up for that 50% giving back like that, like we need some hearts, some loves. And y'all tag y'all folks who y'all know need this information. Tell them to get on up in here, and feel free to drop your questions in the comments as well. Darren will answer some of your questions. So my question for you, what was the first vitamin or supplement that you all decided to develop, and why? Do you remember?
Well, yeah, we went with a multivitamin first, because that's like the layer in the foundation. So we started with like really like 3 or 4, which was the multivitamin, the probiotic, you know, a standalone vitamin D. We felt like those are things that kind of get your baseline where you need to be. And so then what we wanted to do is have some things like gummies, and then we had tablets. So we wanted to have something for everybody, because I was so surprised that so many people don't like to swallow pills. It was just like, I just, you know, and I'm a big pill guy, so it was, you know, surprising to me, but it was really a big issue. We started with pills only, and all we would get all day is emails. Just you got anything outside of pills? You got any? And you know, so many people have different reasons, but so we did the gummies, which are effective as well. So now we have options from gummies to tablets to capsules. You know, and then we even have to take a picture of the vitamins next to pennies, so people want to know how big they are. Like, you know, they feel like they're too big or they can't. So, you know, we had to do so much to kind of put it out there, you know, but it's worked well. The gummies sell really well, but they're effective as well. It's just something like when you were young and they put medicine inside something sweet, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. And actually, if it keeps you doing it, I'm more excited about that. You know, some people have the pills and then they don't want to take the pills. And so that's no sense of getting them, and you're not going to take them. So if the gummy gets you excited to get up in the morning and take it, and you feel like, oh, it's a little something sweet, but you're getting your nutrition. I mean, I think it's worth the 2 or 3 grams of sugar, right? It's not that much. Yeah. So I'm excited about it. So those are the few we started with.
Okay, it's funny you talk about that, because I just posted a video last week, just trying to change people's perspective on taking supplements and taking the medications too, because, and I know it's a difference, a mindset difference on taking supplements that you choose to take, like, hey, I think I could use some of my vitamin D, versus the medications that your doctor tells you have to take in order to live, right? And so I know, well, actually I posted 2 videos because I know I take a lot of supplements.
Yeah, me too.
Every morning, taking the pill bottles down, opening each one, dumping each one, that in itself can be taxing and annoying and feels like a chore. And so I never thought that at 45, I would have my own little pill container. Yeah. So I just got to the point, I'm just like, I've got my daily my supplements, and I just put them in that container. And it took me all of 2 to 3 minutes to get everything ready for the entire week and keep on moving. But then when it comes to taking the actual supplements, I'm like you, I'd rather just take the pill and keep on moving. Luckily, I don't have a sweet tooth, so I'll do gummies if that's the only way I can find them. But I prefer to just take the pill and keep on moving. Yeah. And I was telling myself, when you take these pills, as opposed to being annoyed with them, you know, imagine if they didn't exist, especially for your medications that you have to take. If you're on a statin, if you are taking high blood pressure medication, if you're taking, you know, insulin, whatever it is, you should be thankful that those pills even exist. So instead of being frustrated, or in the supplement market, thank you for helping my hair. Thank you for my bone strength.
Your bones, your hair, everything.
Thank you for all of this. And then you take it and keep on rolling. It takes all of 5 or 10 seconds to take your doggone supplements and or your medication that you need to live and to be healthier. Like, come on.
It's so important. It's so important. And like you said, my wife gets frustrated all the time because, you know, people don't take just the medication that they prescribe. She's just like, your blood pressure's through the roof. I mean, she's like, with the diabetes and high blood pressure and the youth and 20s and 30 years old. I mean, she's like taking off people's legs and arms in their 20s and 30s
Oh,
on a weekly basis because of diabetes. And they got the medication, you know, and they won't take it. Well, I don't like it. It don't make me feel good. It's just all, I think sometimes, you know, uh, us as Black people, it's always about how we feel instead of what we need, you know. I didn't. It's always I don't feel like when you don't feel like it. You know. So now your leg, now your foot has got to go, and now
how you feel now?
and it's just like that one moment. You know, the same thing with vitamins. I mean, they help with preventative stuff. With you know, your body needs all these things to run. These vitamin minerals, just like your car. You know, I always say people don't want to pay sometimes for the supplementation that they need because it helps them in preventable and long term. But then they go put premium gas in their car, right? So you know what I'm saying, but you're gonna put trash and don't want to buy no vitamin, put nothing good in your body, which is that's the number one engine that you got.
That I told you the first time we talked, I was like, get out my head. It's like we say this.
Yeah, that's the number one engine.
I tell people this is the most beautiful machine you could ever imagine. The way that it all works together, the way your body protects you. Why wouldn't you take care of it? We do so much more for the outside part of it.
Oh my goodness.
You know, you don't want to take supplements because it takes 5 to 10 seconds, but you would literally have hair wash day. You can spend full 6-8 hours washing, deep conditioning, and all this other stuff to your hair. You go get all these massages and manicures and pedicures. You do all this stuff for the aesthetics on the outside, but you won't do something quick and daily on the inside. Like make it make sense. The math ain't math, and it just is frustrating.
The inside is everything. The inside is everything. You know, it's just like it's so important, and it's like we don't like to think about our health until it's too late, until we have a problem, until we have an issue. And it's so, and that's why we really, you know, with the company, we do a lot of education as well. Because a lot of it is just education. A lot of it we haven't been taught. And a lot of it is, you know, with so many other things going on and issues that we have to address. But, you know, making it cool, making other people excited about it. We got so many of our customers. We got thousands of reviews and they talk about them. They hold the bottles up. They share it with their friends. So it's just like, we want that to be cool too. Like our whole phrase is like hashtag I'm pro Black health, right? So, you know, it's just like, it's a vibe. So I always say it's not a vitamin company, it's a movement, right? And, you know, it's about, let's get people excited about it, loving it, sharing it. Just like you'll share a cool t-shirt online or a cool whatever. I wanted that same vibe. Like I'm sharing this, I'm taking this, I'm proud of this. I want it on your counter so everyone can say, man, what you taking? Oh man, these essentials from Pro Black Health. And then what makes it so cool is you also doing something for your community because we give it back. So not only are you making yourself healthier, you're making the community healthier at the same time. I mean, it's a win-win.
Man, like when you say that, it's just amazing how many people don't look at it that way. Like looking at our community, and when we talked, and you know, folks who've been in the challenge in the FNAC group for a while, you all know, you've heard the story on why I created the Black Health and Fitness Revolution. It honestly started during the pandemic when Fauci started running the numbers on how many Black and brown folks were dying more frequently than everybody else because of all of the predisposed, all the diseases we had and the lack of health care. And the crazy thing is that we are diagnosed with these preventable diseases 2 to 3 times more than everybody else. And those are just the people who are going to the doctor. You know what I'm saying? Just imagine, as you said, people, so many of us don't even go to the doctor to even know what's there. Because one thing I can't stand is when people say, the doctor say, I got diabetes, but I ain't going to claim that. Girl, if you don't claim that, it's going to claim you. Like, it's not a matter of claiming it. It's just a matter of accepting what it is and then moving forward with it so that we can live healthier, longer lives. We gotta.
And you know what's so crazy about it is that we are already so genetically blessed. You know what I'm saying? And we just did some supplement, we just so genetically blessed. That's what I always kills me about that show. Get Out makes me, you know, physically, skin, we age well. We got the whole thing. and we the ones messing it up. We got the whole flow there. It's communities and races of people who died to have your skin, to die to have your insides, to die to have your structure, your bone structure, your health. Like we are like the best of the best.
It ain't no like the best of the best. We are the best of the best.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, and if we just exercise like you're getting people to do, eat good, supplementation, it's so many great things that we're just so blessed with that, not that we, like you said, a lot of it's education, and we don't know, we're not told, it doesn't come down from our ancestors a lot of times because we just trying to survive in so many generations. What was so interesting, you talk about the pandemic, we started this before the pandemic, and we would be at events and trying to get this going, and I was discouraged at first because, man, what we need vitamins for? That would be like the thing, I don't need this, or I don't need this, I'm fine. I chew on garlic. It'd be so many things. I'd be like, bro, it's just it was just such a trip. But what happened was the pandemic pulled the Band-Aid off and let everybody see. I always say this, but when you're growing up and you got like a doormat in front of your house, like a doormat, and it's been wet or rain or whatever, and you pull it up, all the things running around. What was our health? With the pandemic, when we pulled it up, we got to see we dying early. Vitamin, we're getting the virus because vitamin D deficiency.
Yeah.
Right? There was so many things, and then realized, oh, we ain't as healthy as we thought we were.
Nope.
Then the vitamin store. Oh yeah, I see what you're saying. Because we were trying to tell people that before the pandemic, like you have to get your vitamin, your mineral levels up. All those things are important, and it's so hard to get from nutrients. And even sometimes, even if the vegetables and things, the ground has been turned so many times, each time you grow something, to take that nutrients out, a lot of times, even the vegetables are not where they should be on level. So I think supplementation is just key and to preventable. And what really got me about it is that all the rich people and all these people, that's all they do is they supplementation. They got these companies like Gwyneth Paltrow Group and all these and they about their supplementation. They about their longevity. You know what I'm saying? And no matter what it costs, because it don't matter if you got a Benz if you can't drive it.
Will you please tell them? Will you please tell them? Just like people always talking about, generational wealth. And I'm like, what about generational health? Because you can't, it doesn't matter if you have wealth, if you can't enjoy it, or if your wealth is going to all of these doctor's appointments that you have to go to, not just your maintenance. But now all of a sudden you have all these extra co-pays, you have all this extra medication. I would rather take supplements than medication just to do my maintenance. I tell my sons all the time, ever since they were kids, were babies, I always tell them it's easier to keep up than to catch up.
Wow, preach.
Just do what you need to do instead of all of a sudden now you're trying to run back. It's just like your GPA. Once that thing tank, is hard.
I had to go chase mine down once or twice.
Look here. I still remember that I graduated with a 2.911 and I was so mad because I was fighting so hard to get back up over those threes, but I let it falter. I let it fall to the wayside and I never got back above that doggone 3. And your health can be that way too if you just keep letting it fall, as opposed to just doing your routine maintenance. We don't want to accept that, when we get older, things just don't grow the way they did before. Our bodies, once you're born, you start dying. Y'all got to understand that.
Yeah.
Your body starts losing certain things and you have to do the maintenance the same way. You have to drink your water. You have to move your body, whatever type of movement you like, whether it's walking, skating, gardening, lifting weights, whatever it is, you have to use this machine so that it keeps working for you.
It's a machine. If you think of it that way, and what do you want to put in your machine? And what's so interesting about it is that we've gotten to a point that we don't even know what feeling good is. And what I mean by that is just that our diets and weight and all these things, we think we feel normal until you get healthy. You'd be like, man, I didn't know I could feel like that. You know, you don't. A lot of us don't even know what feeling good feels like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, because being at a certain, I'm tired, I'm this, and it's been such a norm.
Mm-hmm.
You know
It's
that.
almost like a badge of honor. That's the sad part about it. It's like, I'm grinding. It's not, if you were taking care of yourself, you could grind and still feel great. like real talk. But when we were just talking about this engine and machine, and you mentioned the premium gas in the car, your car doesn't just run on gas. You have antifreeze,
Mm-hmm.
you got your oil, you got all these other things you have to put in your car for it to run at its optimal
Absolutely.
level. You are
Absolutely.
not just getting gas every day. In the same way, think about it. You're not gonna stop getting the tune up and the oil change. You let the engine lock up on you because that's there we go again. Would you rather just go
And
ahead
that
and
and in the body, that's called a stroke. Your engine then locked up on you.
because you don't want to? And the thing is, if you're not going to take the supplements, at least watch how and what you eat and your
Mm-hmm.
activity levels. That's the thing. You
Yeah.
can't just decide you're not going to exercise. You're going to drink all the soda you can find and you're going to eat all the fried foods, and then you're still not going to take any supplements or the medications that your doctor say you do.
Mm-hmm.
You got to pick a struggle. You can't do all the things. It's not about being perfect, because folks know I am very transparent. Every doggone Friday in our house, we eat pizza, and I love me some wine and cocktail, and even got a beer group with my husband. So it's not that I'm running around just taking supplements all day, eating steamed broccoli and salmon. No, but you got to I take my supplements every morning
That's
religiously,
very important.
every morning.
It's
And
very
drink a gang of water. You got to take care of yourselves. And that's all that I am pushing for, is to even at least be cognizant of, just making a decision and say, okay, what can I do to stay here longer? The majority of us, in some way, we're taking care of other people, whether it's our friends, our children, our parents, our siblings. We love on them. That's just our nature, to take care of people and want to. How are you going to do that when you're not taking care of yourself? Like, you're not going to be here long enough to do that. So it's just, I'm just baffled by it all, and that's why I'm so glad that you came.
Yeah, and I'm glad that you're helping and you're passionate about it, because a lot of it, I think I've learned just speaking with people and just with customers and just people wearing events. It's just so much is just knowledge, and trying to get to understand it. You don't know what you don't know, right? So I mean, it's just but you have to realize. I was talking to somebody about something about COVID. My wife was going through COVID with the hospital, and what would happen with a lot of people is their lungs would pop, right? And what happens is, because all that fluid's in your chest, and the thing with COVID is your lungs get hard. Your lungs get hard. You can't breathe, right? And so they're trying to stick a tube in there to get some air in there. And sometimes they pop, right? And people always ask me, when I tell people that, they say, well, what happened when they pop? You die. Because you need air. This is an engine, a body. It's like working full time. The oxygen you breathe, I don't think we think about it like that. But what happens when that happens? Like, every breath you take, this is it's running. It's an actual, these cells are organisms, they're moving. It's like real. Like, I don't know. It's so hard to think about it because we really don't think about it that way. But it's just like, man, if you can't get the air in, it's over. So just thinking about everything else, from blood flow to bloodstream to vitamin levels to bone density to, from calcium to iron, all those things that are in your blood, those are all things that just like you have additives in your gas. It's all those things you need for it to run for your mind, for your mental, with probiotics for your gut, so much mental is starting from the gut.
When you just said that, I'm like, sir, we could do a whole conversation on gut health.
I mean, it's because your gut, and then you run while I'm foggy. I can't think my mind, because what happened when you put if you got a high octane car that say put 93 in and you put in 87, what that car sound like? It's knocking and bumping and everything else, just like your body.
But you know what's sad? Do you realize we keep using car examples because people care more about their cars than they do about their own bodies and their health.
They do.
That's a doggone shame that's how we have to reach people and say, man, you wouldn't do this to their car. And they're like, I sure wouldn't. I sure wouldn't. That's my baby. You know, they don't even want their car to get dirt and snow on it. But they'll sit there and put all types of trash in their bodies. Make it make sense.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. And it's like you said, there's so many things. One other myth before we go, I want to kind of dispel is that my wife hears all the time. I hear from her that people say, well, oh, it just runs in my family. Like those diseases run in your family. 85% of diseases are preventable. Now they run in your family, it run on your plate.
You know what I say? I say those diseases don't run in your family. It's the bad habits that run in the family. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah. Y'all just passing it down. Y'all passing it along.
Not that you can't be predisposed genetically, but it's one of those things that you have to do so much in the wrong direction to trigger that thing to happen. Right. And sometimes, you know, I can say it does happen, but most of the time, 85% is just what we're doing. That's the effect on your body. Right. Yeah. And that's why, you know, even as we're getting older, right. You know, we think that 50 is supposed to be old or 60 is supposed to be old. That's not even old. You're supposed to be walking around and sliding your house shoes and, you know what I'm saying? Like that's what we thinking. You know, you could be, I mean, you know, you could be your body is old as you treat it.
There we go.
You know what I'm saying? If you destroying your cells and doing the wrong things, then it's gonna age.
Yep.
It's just like if you take some jeans or something, I always think anything and you wash them all the time, drag them on the ground all the time, they're gonna look old.
Yeah.
If you take care of them, they're gonna still look good. And if we can do that, you already ain't gonna wrinkle up. I mean, what else you want?
Come on. It's interesting you say that because and this sounds so foul, but it's the truth. I was watching this TV show last week and they flashed this picture up of this lady on the screen. And they, unfortunately, it was like one of those, you know, I'm a woman. I like those murder shows. Who did it and why, right?
Yeah, I know.
And they showed it. Don't judge me. Don't judge me. But unfortunately, she had passed away. So they were just flashing pictures of her. And they said 52-year-old, whatever. And I looked at the screen. I was like, 52? Like, I had to rewind. I kept rewinding. I was like, they didn't say 52 because on everything, this woman looks like she's at least 68, 70. Like, I took a picture of it and I sent it to my friends. Like, how old do y'all think this lady is? But on the converse, my father-in-law is 92 years old and nobody believes it. Yeah. You know why? That man, the very first time I visited their home when my husband and I was still dating, went up to his dad's office, opened the closet door. It was like that man had his own vitamin shop. When I tell you all the supplements, that man is a senior Olympian. He stays active. Now he does the beer show with us all the time too. So he still drinks his beer. But when I tell you that man takes care of himself, my husband tells a story on how he just remembered seeing his dad come in the house sweaty from going out on a run or a walk, taking care of his doggone body. And that's why at 92, if I were to show you that picture, most people think he's 64. It's hilarious. I'm like, he's 92. And they're like, you lying. So everything that you're saying about how you take care of your body, even when he goes to the doctors. Oh, and can we talk about this real quick? Because I know I said 30 minutes. And I'm going to let you go.
No problem. Go right ahead.
But when you talked about taking the supplements, something I always tell people is don't assume you need everything. Don't just go run and grab something because somebody else is taking it. You have to be an advocate. You have to go to the doctor. You have to get your numbers run and see what you need, because you don't want to take too much stuff that you don't need, because you can, mess yourself up that way as well. Can you talk some more about that?
Yeah. And what we do with that is like our multivitamins and everything are real, they pretty much work for everyone. We don't try to go too high on some of the things because sometimes it can be toxic, like you said. If you can do over vitamin D, can be bad. Iron is another thing that's real toxic. We actually don't, for that reason, put iron in any of our vitamins. It's one of the things that, it's the highest rate of death for kids. I don't know if you knew that, but for getting hold of vitamins and getting hold with iron, because it's like such a thing. And then people who don't need iron, they can get really sick.
Wow.
And with that, a lot of insurance companies will not insure vitamin companies that have iron in the vitamins. So like a lot of times you go to the store or somewhere else, you'll realize that most of the vitamins don't have iron in them. There are some. And even if you get your own iron supplement, we're trying to do one on the side because so many people need iron. Just put it under a different LLC so we can get an insurance policy on it. But yeah, you have to know your levels, know where you're at. We try to keep real basic with our multivitamins, and our probiotics are really good. I think those are two things that you have to do. I think probiotics are very important. And with our probiotics, we did where you could take 1, 2, or 3, depending on what level of probiotic that you want or feel like you need. And it's kind of getting that started to see how your digestion does. And sometimes we don't want you to get too much. So we didn't want to, sometimes these things say, 30 and 60, 6 million, 60 million, and sometimes you don't need all that. And you don't want to kill the good bacteria you have in your body by overcompensating, right? So, but yeah, get your test, especially that vitamin D, which is so important. And D has they're just saying Alzheimer's, bones, brain health. And that's the one thing that we need the most of because a lot of us are lactose intolerant. So the only way you can really get D a lot of times is through milk, and then liver. A lot of people don't eat liver. And then unfortunately you can get it from the sun, but unfortunately our melanin blocks the absorption of vitamin D. Skin. So a lot of people say, well, I go outside, but that's our skin actually blocks that absorption of that vitamin D. And that's why everybody go to the doctor and say, man, the doctor say I need vitamin D. That is like so big. And when the CDC was talking about it, like they feel like that's the biggest epidemic in our community is that vitamin D. And they really feel like that's why so many of us really died from, with the pandemic. Well, I don't want to say died, but got sick or easily get virus because that D level is not up. But yeah, it's a big thing. I think if we could just get that D it's been linked to so many things that it's crazy. And, so yeah, I think you got to know where you at and don't overtake, start with a good multivitamin and a good probiotic.
I love it. Well, thank you. And I just posted about the vitamin D. I tell you, we are just always. I just posted about the vitamin D.
Facts don't lie. Facts don't lie.
Will you tell them? Well, Darian, can you tell the folks how they can find you and Pro Black Health and how they can reach out to you and support this Black couple who running Black vitamin and supplement business that's giving back to the Black community?
Man, run that again. I like that. That's just, when I used to be real quickly, I'll be at events and I would tell people that. And I was like, if you can't get behind that, we in trouble.
Well, you tell them.
If you can't get behind that, you in trouble.
So how do they find you? And y'all, I'll put the links in the comments as well. And I see my comments. Now, I don't know why I can't see comments today, but we apologize for missing any of the questions.
Yeah,
but
I'm online. We're Pro Black Health, and it's PROBLK health.com. So that's where you want to go, find us, check us out. We're on Instagram, Facebook, all those things, but that's where you go to the site to buy the vitamins.
Okay, love it. And how can they follow you all on social?
At PROBLK_health. That's Instagram, at PROBLK health, no underscore, at Facebook. Then we're on LinkedIn and Twitter as well at Pro Black Health, PROBLK _health. So the only one that doesn't have a underscore is Facebook, of course.
Gotcha. And y'all, just to give y'all a little heads up, you might see Pro Black Health popping up in the challenge. I'm just saying it's quite possible. The challenge is coming up May 9th.
We got you. We want to support that. So we definitely gonna make sure the prizes are nice.
Yeah. So if you haven't registered yet, get your spot, bodybounceback.com, bodybouncebackchallenge.com. Don't put the www in there. You're not gonna make it, but bodybouncebackchallenge.com. So Darian, thank you all so much. Thank you for taking time out of your day because I know you all are super busy. Thank you for sharing your knowledge and your passion with my community. Thank you for everything that you and your wife, Dr. Carlina, are doing. The focus that you all are giving to the Black community is just, when I heard the 50% of net profit, y'all, a lot of folks like, we give back, and they looking at the gross.
Yeah.
And they like, oh, maybe sort of kind of, 10%, we'll give 5%. Y'all, they are really doing, they're not just talking about it at all. They're not complaining about it. They're working towards helping us to live healthier, longer lives. So y'all give it up. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I'm going to have you back because, like I said, we can have a whole
and we can try to get my wife on here too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we'll get her on here. And what this year we were able to give back to seven nonprofits. So that was really amazing this year. And it's one of those things where, you look at your legacy. It's like what I call a legacy business. Like, what I'm going to leave behind, what kind of difference I'm going to make. I mean, if we can really make a difference. I mean, we could be healthcare centers in our community. I mean, I think the sky's the limit because, a lot of these companies, they're making millions and millions of dollars off of us.
Yeah.
And they taking it to the golf course.
Yeah.
Wherever at. You know what I'm saying? And I just think that if we galvanize and do the things that we need to do, I mean, I think it could be, I just have such good vision and I get so excited about it. Like, I'm ready for the rest of my day. I got just big visions for the company and just want to really make a big impact. So,
and that's why y'all going to continue to be blessed. Because I just keep thinking about it. I'm like, y'all, they're not just giving part of their revenue away and writing it off as taxes. It's their profit. Was theirs for their pockets.
Yeah.
Like, that's why I keep saying it. Like, do y'all really understand the gravity of that? Like, that is huge. So,
and we're excited about it because that's what it's about. That's what it's about. We've been so blessed. I've been so blessed. My wife has been so blessed, and so we can pass that on. I know sometimes it is about my. I can understand that we've just been blessing that. Now we're like, how can we pass it on and give back and make a difference? And I'm super excited about it.
Well,
you got me hyped. You got me hyped. I ain't even had lunch yet.
Well, it's time to go. You know what? I always say this with things that we do. I'm going to thank you again. And I'm just going to wish you well and go out there and keep changing the world. Because that's what you're doing. Keep changing.
I want to hear about this body bounce back challenge and see what's going on. So we'll be getting some prizes and look in on this and see where people left. So I definitely come back.
Yes, sir. Well, thank you. Enjoy the rest of your day, y'all. Give it up for Mr. Darian McDaniel of PROBLKHEALTH. Make sure y'all head over to the site, support. Like I said, he's also going to provide some things for the challenge, the Body Bounce Back Challenge coming up May 9th. But make sure you all follow on the socials so you can stay up to date on all the things that they have going on, whether it's a new product release, promotions, whatever. Make sure that you're all supporting and share the information. Sharing is caring, y'all. Don't just take it yourself and be like, oh, this is cool. No, we all need this and we all need to support so that they can keep supporting the Black community. All right. So I'm out of here for real, y'all. Y'all know I'm verbose. 30 minutes don't ever be 30 minutes. I apologize for that. So y'all have a fantastic one, and I will see y'all later.